So at the end of last stream, I just discovered that you could put nuclear fuel into cars, and that they went rather fast if you did. In fact, it's still damaged from my attempt to drive it. LT Bago has the reference that I was missing. Sir Percy Blakeney is the master of disguise himself, the infamous Scarlet Pimpernel from the Baroness Orczy novel. Okay, that makes sense. So, well done, Orban, for recognising this flower as a Scarlet Pimpernel. I guess also well done to my artist, Mushloon, for making emotes that were so recognisable. Now, it's been a couple of weeks due to one thing and another and some cancellation. I believe what I was doing at the end of last stream was lamenting our lack of oil. We just have this bit down here and this bit up here. And I was going to go and search for some more, which is why I invested in a nuclear-powered car. Although, now that we have one, I am thinking, because cars are not the only vehicles you can build in this game. We researched any of the others yet? I don't think we have. No. You can also build tanks. Tanks are quite helpful because they can shoot things, which is something cars are famously bad at. But I don't have the enemies turned on in this game, so it's not hugely important. But what they are incredibly good at is flattening trees. We all know that the true purpose of Factorio is to flatten as many trees as possible. So I'll just queue up the tank research and maybe we can try out one of those as well. For now, though, let's see if we can find any more oil. Apologies, I am driving in the dark. As I mentioned several times, I wish the game wasn't so dark at night. I would install a mod to make it brighter, but installing mods disables achievements, and I wanted to try and play the game without mods so I could get some achievements. I almost destroyed the car by crashing it into a rock just then. And I couldn't see the rock because it was nighttime. Okay, I actually managed to get the car stuck. Emma, I promise I'm not this bad at driving in real life, okay? My real car isn't nuclear powered. Also, people don't tend to leave giant car-sized boulders scattered throughout the landscape in real life. Not usually, anyway. There's some uranium. Harry says you're driving with good. Yes, Harry is the only person here who can actually attest to the quality of my actual driving. I managed to negotiate my way down Cheddar Gorge, which is a very windy road. Other than that, but thank you, Harry. I'm glad you appreciated my driving. To be honest, I think just people in Bristol are bad drivers, rather than that I'm good. Orban says, I'm a little surprised that Emma drives. I'd expect you to take public transport. Well, so here's the thing about being a botanist. When I'm doing field work, what tends to happen is I need to get to and from a usually very remote nature reserve that's not near any populated place at an awkward time of day, because at least in the summer most of my field work is done in the evening after work. So there are no bus services to the middle of nowhere, a random wood or nature reserve or something. So whilst I could, well, this is the thing, Harry. So there is a bus service from the village I live in to the nearby towns, but my opportunities for botany would be severely limited if I were to rely on public transport. I would basically be limited to botanizing within walking distance of my house, and also some towns. And there is interesting botany in towns. Wells has very interesting botany. But some of the nature reserves that I've been asked to survey are, yeah. To be honest, some of them don't even have parking. There have been cases where I've had to leave my car somewhere and then walk several miles to access the place that I needed to be. But getting public transport would have been even worse. Maybe if I lived in a country that had a slightly better public transport system. Orban says, it all makes sense now. To go where the flowers are, you have to go where the people aren't. I mean, I would like for flowers and people to coexist. But yes, certainly the more vulnerable species only grow in reserves. Hello, Nespa. Welcome in. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day. Me take a brief break from driving here to shout out Nespa, who is absolutely amazing. Honestly, don't waste your time watching me. Go and watch Nespa instead. That's a proper streamer right there. Nespa, I hope you're well. We are playing Factorio right now. And I'm trying to find more oil. And I'm not having much luck. I'm just checking the map to make sure I haven't missed any. No, I have missed some. There's some there. Okay. Well, that's a bigger patch than what we had, although not by much. It'll do for now. Yeah, we'll go there. So all I need to do is find my way back to my base now. I'm probably missing a lot of chat as well. Can I chat and drive at the same time? This is dubious. Altivago says, very busy right at the moment. Right now, my computer is the only thing I own that isn't either in a box or dismantled, ready for moving. Okay. I to be honest, I assumed you're on mobile, but I suppose yes, it makes sense that. That's how any of us would move, right? The last thing into the boxes would be the computer, and the first thing out. As long as you have internet access, a cardboard box to use as a desk, and your PC, you're pretty much set up, right? That's all you need. Orban says, maybe that's just a stereotype I have about Europeans and Brits. So, Europeans definitely take public transport more than Americans. They are less car dependent. However, that does tend to be true only in urban areas. In rural areas, yeah, Maybe Europe. I think in general, places like Germany are a little better with public transport than the UK. If only due to our obsession with privatization. I'm not saying it's good, I'm just saying it's better than what we have here. So maybe it's more a mainland Europe, continental Europe rather than UK thing. But yeah, we are less car dependent than America, although we seem to be doing our best to change that, sadly. Factorio, of course, does not have public transport. It does have trains, but I don't think I can classify the trains as public transport when I'm the only person on the planet. Harry says, I am used to buses being a lot more frequent than where you live. Yes. Well, you live in a proper place. I mean, the places like Bristol have decent bus services. But yeah, the village I live in, I think we passed the bus shelter while I was driving. There's like one bus an hour. And it goes to the next town over. And from there, you can get buses to other places sometimes. I wouldn't be able to get into Bristol on the bus without changing buses. Doesn't bother me too much because I do have a car and I work from home. This is the thing. So I don't have a huge commute. You know, people who commute in their car an hour every day or even longer, I wouldn't want that. So you can say I'm having a negative environmental impact by driving, but I don't drive. I don't drive much. I don't drive to work, and I don't tend to drive into Bristol for shopping or anything. I tend to shop locally or order things or. So most of the driving I do is for botany purposes. So then you're saying, well, does the environmental gain from me doing my botanical surveys outweigh the negative of me using a car to do it? And as I say before, my argument there is I think that's the only practical way I have of doing it. You could say maybe I should have an electric car instead of a petrol one. Can't quite afford electric car just yet. Altibago says, packing up the computer and dismantling the desk tomorrow evening. Going to Wales on Friday to do paperwork and get the keys. Then back to Lancashire. Moving on Saturday. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Tibago. And yes, I hope things work out for you in Wales. I know I'm not going to go into detail, but El Tibago has had some problems accessing healthcare services in his current location, and I am led to believe that they are a little bit better in Wales. At the very least, you get free prescriptions there, which you don't in England. Hello, Liari. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day, which is a Russian comfrey. We are going to build a railway. Go and get that oil that I was just talking about. Looks like there might be some water in the way, so we probably want to go like that. Welcome back to Emma tries not to get run over by a train. Get away with just single track here. We signal it appropriately. So I can't put signals there, otherwise it won't work. But I can put signals here. Oh, by the way, let me know if the sound is okay. I think it's a bit quiet at the moment. I'll turn it up. There we go. Sorry, this part of the game is a little boring, but we need more oil to do interesting things. Like make more science packs so that we can finish researching atomic weapons. Sounds good to me, says Teabagger. Okay, that's good. Please ignore the deforestation. I try to limit my impact on the environment, I promise. I feel guilty playing these games and I shouldn't because it's not real. Like there's plenty of people out there polluting the real world. It should be them that we're worried about, not the people who are sat at home playing Factorio. I still feel, I shouldn't be saying that polluting this fictional world is okay in case people get the wrong idea. No. The CEOs of oil companies are not watching my stream. I can be fairly certain of that. Oh, we ran out of rails. Silly Emma. Fortunately, I brought a train with me. Yes, this is one of those games where you can carry around an entire railway locomotive in your pocket. Several, in fact. Harry says, you should see the deforestation that we've done in Valheim. Yes, I'm regret that I haven't been able to play that game with you, although if what Ophelia says about everybody being up till 4 AM is true, perhaps it's for the best that I haven't been playing it. Okay. I might just stand here within the logistics area for a bit to actually get some... I should be getting some rails delivered to me. Yeah, here they come. Okay, is that going to be enough? I was hoping for more than that. Have I not been making enough rails? Oh, no, apparently I have 1658 in storage. That sounds like enough. Yeah, we only need about 300 more. Okay. Oh, we also need some... I'll go right. We're not requesting iron plate. Please bring to me some iron plates. Actually, while you're at it, you might as well bring me copper plates as well. You never know when you need these things. Just making a train. There we go. Just get this one out of the way. Sorry, I am hoping this cough will be gotten soon. It's starting to annoy me, and not just because it makes my streams hard to listen to. I've I haven't quite built the intersection correctly here, have I? That was a mistake. LTBago says, I have to hard disagree with you on the EV argument. Until battery technology is less reliant on cobalt and lithium, and the electricity grid is less reliant on coal, I don't think EVs are all that environmentally friendly. The UK electricity grid uses no coal. The last coal-fired power station in the UK closed in September 2024. And coal had largely been phased out by that point anyway. We are still using a significant amount of natural gas. Although we have a huge offshore wind capacity now, to our status as a very windy island, it only works when the wind is blowing. We do also have some solar, but be honest, the UK isn't exactly known for its sunshine, so we have to have something to provide the base load, and everybody is opposed to nuclear, so gas it is. But yeah, we are very much not reliant on coal anymore. And even if we were, large power stations have to filter their emissions much more thoroughly than cars do. There's only so much you can do with an exhaust pipe compared to the sophisticated systems that power plants have. I agree about the environmental effect of cobalt and lithium mining. Although I will point out that that is not done in the UK. So if my concern is killing the biodiversity of the UK, which I'll be honest is my concern, selfish though that may be. Still better off with an electric vehicle. Right, hopefully I can fit the railway through here. Oh, there's a little hole that I'm going to have to fill in, but I brought some landfill with me. There we go. If I had enough landfill, I could just build a bridge straight across this water, but I don't quite have enough for that. And to be clear, T-Bagger, you make good points. Everybody having their own personal vehicle is just not an environmentally friendly option, regardless of what that vehicle runs on. But as I say, I don't see another practical way to do what I do. So the reality is, if somebody said, sorry, you can't own a car anymore, then the answer would be, well, I would have to stop doing, I wouldn't have to stop doing botany entirely, but I would have to significantly wind down the scope of my surveys, because you know, it is all entirely on a voluntary basis. Nobody is paying for me to have a company vehicle to do it or anything. And as I say, public transport is a non-starter. You could argue that I should cycle. The roads around here are not great for cycling. It's certainly possible, but the time it would take for me to get to and from survey sites by bike would mean that it would no longer be an option for me to do the surveys after work in summer, which means I'd be limited to doing them at weekends only. which would severely limit the amount I was able to do. So, you know, I have thought about these things, and those are my conclusions from having thought about them. Harry says, right now, power generation is 58.5% gas, 22.8% renewables, 9.1% nuclear, and 6.2% biomass. Is that a rolling average, or is that right now this second? Because obviously it's night time, so the solar isn't contributing. Yeah, I think the highest renewable percentage we've hit was something like 70%, but that was during the day on an exceptionally windy day, so that's certainly not typical. But it's only going to increase from there. Emma talking about renewable energy whilst building a oil pipeline. The irony is not lost on her. LT Bago says, I have no issue with car ownership at this time. We just aren't ready to fully phase out petrol or diesel cars. On top of those reasons mentioned, I don't think we have the money to invest in charging infrastructure. Yeah, so this is a good point. However, the thing there is, in my case, I don't need charging infrastructure. Any electric vehicle will have enough range to get from my house to anywhere in Somerset and back again, which is all that I need for botany purposes. So all I need to do is be able to charge it at home. For those who routinely make longer journeys, I agree. Charging infrastructure is not there yet. But for somebody with my needs, I think what we have is completely adequate. I don't need fast charging, I can leave it overnight. The only criticism I would really make of the UK's power generation is that I think we should have invested more heavily in nuclear power over the last 30 to 40 years. We would then potentially be in the enviable position of being able to transition off of fossil fuels entirely, since we have such good renewable capacity. But we are not there. We've realised too late that this is going to be a problem, and we have started building more nuclear power plants. It's too little too late, I think. But I think by the time those plants reach the end of their life, they'll be obsolete because we'll have expanded our renewable generation to the point they're not necessary. This is something that we should have been thinking about 30 or 40 years ago, not now. But back then, energy was relatively cheap, and people were not taking climate change seriously, even though we knew it to be a threat. Harry says those figures are live. Okay, yeah, so you have to factor in that the renewable percentage does increase during the day because the sun is shining, and it's winter at the moment. Our power usage is higher in the winter because it's cold and we have to heat our houses. And we generally don't, at least domestically, use air conditioning in this country, even though climate change is making it to the point where we perhaps need to. So we don't use extra on hot days for that. And also in the winter the sun is low in the sky, and so the solar generation is low even in the day. Okay, oil 3, full cargo. Don't go to oil 2. Right, you're going to hang there. I need some pumps. There. Not actually going to get any oil yet because I haven't hooked up the power. But that's okay. While I drive the train back, I will. There's a fun thing where you can sort of place a power line as you're driving the train along, so I'll do that. I just need to connect everything first. That's not actually. That needs to be there. Okay. Oh, manual mode, please. So you can just sort of hold down the mouse button and the game automatically places pylons at the maximum distance and finds a spot for them if there's a tree in the way, which is very convenient. I wouldn't want to have to do this manually. Bago says, we should just fill Guernsey with nuclear plants. We aren't really using it. And if anything goes wrong, well, that's Francis' problem. Well, we're certainly filling the coast of South Somerset with nuclear plants. I think I showed this on the map during one of my botany segments. Currently working on Hinkley Point C. But although A and B have both stopped producing power, the sites haven't been fully decommissioned yet. So there's a line of progressively newer and larger power stations. Which, I mean, they are huge. You don't realise until you're close up to them. We've run out of fuel. Great. You don't realise until you're close up to them just how vast those buildings are. You can see them quite clearly from on top of the Mendip Hills at the right angle. And yeah, you look out across the Bristol Channel so you can see the coast of Wales the other side. You can just about make out the edge of Exmoor. And then there are these blocks on the coast, and you're like, buildings. But then you realise the scale involved and how the buildings are 40 miles away and they look like they're about 10 miles away. So yeah. Anyway, look, oil. We have oil. We don't have much oil. But we have some oil. Why are you asleep? Oh, because there's a train there. Okay, you go so that I can come back. There we go. Orban says, I never actually knew where Guernsey was. I'm American. So, yeah, Alderney, Guernsey, Jersey, known collectively as the Channel Islands, are a series of islands which, if you look at a map, seem like they ought to be owned by France, as they are much closer to the French coast than the British coast. The British kind of went through a phase of owning random islands in parts of the world where they shouldn't. So it's a whole thing. You get used to it. So yes, they are British, and They were historically French at times and British at times, and they almost have almost a separate feel to them, like a separate culture, I guess. The big thing is that they were occupied by Nazi Germany during World War II. So huge amount of defensive structures were built, and so certainly Jersey, at least, was mostly concrete for a few years. Although I think they've improved it a little since then. But yeah, it's weird for those of us in mainland Britain. We don't think of Britain as having been occupied during World War II. We think of it being an air and sea based conflict that we had. But yes, some people were evacuated, but Jersey was occupied. The population was still there and under Nazi control. This fun fact: several residents of Jersey who were practicing Christians but had Jewish ancestry 3 generations back were rounded up and sent to concentration camps by the Nazis. Not fun. Even more fun fact: there is a very, very small island in the Channel Islands. The 3 main ones are Alderney, Guernsey and Jersey. But there's one called Sark. Sark was, up until about 2010, still technically under the feudal system. It was the last place in Europe still operating under the feudal system until the international pressure forced the UK to change it. Dragging us kicking and screaming into the 18th century. So basically one family owned the whole island and all the people on it. It was also technically occupied during World War II, but it was liberated by one guy going over in a boat and saying, "You need to surrender now," and then they did. True story. Yes, the Orban knows it from the World War II cutesy romance movie, but didn't look up where it was. Harry says, they are a pain to invade. The Germans left Channel Islands for up to a week after VE Day. The German garrison in Alderney was left until 16th of May. It was one of the last of the Nazi German moments to surrender. LT Bago says, I think my favourite British overseas territory is Tristan da Cunha, which is in the middle of goddamn nowhere. Most of them are in the middle of goddamn nowhere. Not most of, I mean, the former British Empire was in the middle of goddamn everywhere. But the remaining UK-controlled territories are almost by definition in the middle of nowhere because they're the only bits that nobody else cared enough about to try and get us to hand them over. They were neither large enough to declare independence nor important enough, like Hong Kong, for example, was also tiny but was hugely densely populated. So we were never going to hold on to that. It's basically a Chinese city. So the bits we have left are islands in the middle of nowhere. Ascension Island, for example, Pitcairn Island. Pitcairn Island should never have been populated. It should have just been protected as a wildlife reserve, like most such remote islands are. Completely uninhabited until there was a mutiny on a British ship in the 17th century, and then its descendants have been living there ever since. Really weird situation, and they're absolutely miles from blooming anywhere. Anyway, I just came down here to check whether we've got enough oil now. Looks like we are producing enough of everything. So I think the answer to that question is yes. Is good. We are... Yeah, the only oil that we're short of is heavy oil. But that's fine. Heavy oil is only needed for lubricant. Most of it will be cracked into light oil. We are really running out of copper. The way this game works, you need a lot of iron at the start of the game and not much copper, and then at the end you need a lot of copper and not much iron. Hello, Ruby! So nice to see you. Best Ruby, I hope you are well. Let me do a quick shout out to Ruby in Pixels, who is one of my favourite streamers. I just wish that time zones weren't a thing, so I could watch her every day, and not only when I happen to be awake at 3 AM. Best Ruby plays a lot of point-and-click adventure games, featuring jaunty hats and such. Best Ruby. Auburn says, also St. Helena, where Napoleon was exiled when they really wanted to stick him in the middle of nowhere. Yes, that's right. Yeah, Napoleon was exiled and then he just came back. And they were like, we need to try a bit harder than that. Maybe the British can help. Ruby says, I've been streaming late again, which I think is around when you wake up. It is, Ruby, yes. The few times I've caught you recently, it's been morning for me. Right, why are we so desperately short of copper? We have a tiny scrap of copper coming in from the mine down there. Why do we not have any copper trains coming in? What are they doing? A whole lot of not much would appear to be the answer to that question. Destination full, unload copper. Unload copper is definitely not full. Is unload... Wait, no. Wait, why? No. Why is there a coal train? We've been through this. Why is there a coal train going to unload copper? For fuck's sake. I thought I'd fix this. Okay, my entire factory is ground to a halt because the coal train has gone to the copper station. It hasn't unloaded its coal because I thought of that and I put filter inserters in it, but... And since I renamed the stops, it just hasn't worked properly. Right, unload coal, not unload copper. Silly game. That's right, you go there. John Coltrane, says LT Bago. John Coltrane. There we go. Okay. I have named the train as per your suggestion, T-Bago. If anyone else has any ideas for names of trains, do let me know. I should have made a channel point redeem, but I didn't think of that. Anyway, good, we have copper again. Crisis temporarily averted. Hello, Lady L. Hope you are well. My God, so many awesome streamers are showing up to say hi to me today. I almost wish I was doing something a bit more organised than just going around in Factorio. Ruby says you have the entire Starlight Express cast list to work up. Of course you would suggest that, Ruby. Unlike some people here, I have not memorised the cast of Starlight Express. But you're right, Ruby. That would be... If I was a bit more organised with my base, I would name all of my trains after that. I am not... I assume that acronym is Andrew Lloyd Webber, Enjoyer, says Ruby, but I will allow it for train naming. Ruby is... Ruby is a talented actress, you know. So, opinion on these things should not be taken lightly. Lady L says, "Hi Emma, I feel tired, but I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. How are you?" I'm not doing too bad. Let me do a shout out. I seems like today is just a series of shout outs. But they all deserve it. They're all awesome people, and Lady L is no exception. Sometimes she plays Dwarf, sometimes she does puzzle games. We did Antechamber, which was good. Enjoyed that. It prompted me to remember that game existed, and I streamed it myself. So cozy. Okay. I think our factory is working again. Yeah, our scientific research is temporarily not happening because we haven't got any purple science packs. And I am devastated that my favourite colour of science pack is missing. But I think it's just because we didn't have any copper. Let me go and check if I'm now making some purple science. Not as such. Right, we are short of electric furnaces. We are short of electric furnaces because we are short of advanced circuits. We are short of advanced circuits because we are short of green circuits. Short of green circuits because... probably just need to add more green circuit production. Oh, actually, this is running at full speed already. Okay, I'm going to have to upgrade this to a fast belt. Reduce any more green circuit. Yeah, see, these machines at the end aren't actually getting any copper. So building more machines won't help because the machines won't be getting any resources. Auburn says to Ruby, too much exposure to Andrew Lloyd Webber from being in theatre. I personally don't like Andrew Lloyd Webber, although that's less to do with the musicals he writes and more to do with his political activity. Someone took it upon themselves to make him a member of the House of Lords. And then he only shows up to vote against things he doesn't agree with, like legalising gay marriage back in whenever that was. Copper is still going too slow. If this wasn't the last stream, I might be tempted to say we should build more copper smelting capacity, but probably going to be good enough. Now, there is one particular thing I wanted to show off on this stream, which is actually why I decided I was going to do at least one more Factorio stream. In order to do that, probably automate producing the combinators and stuff. So this game has its own kind of programmable logic system that is very, very powerful. You can, like, people have built an entire computer in it and stuff like that. It's a bit like Minecraft Redstone, but it's much more powerful even than that. But you do have to build all these parts, and I'm just wondering where the best place to do that is. Probably where I'm building all the other buildings, because I'll have the right resources there. Yeah, let's go down here. If I just extend these belts a bit further. We're going to need 1, 2, 3. Yeah, probably 5 more assemblers. We get lights. Okay, so we need to make some of them, some of them, some of them, some of them, and some of them. They all take like copper wires and circuits and stuff. Oh, those need those. Hang on, I need to do this slightly differently. I forgot about that. That needs to be one tile apart so I can feed these into here. Those need iron sticks, and everything needs copper wire. So I need to make some copper wire. And feed it into all of these machines. Wire, please. And they all need circuits. And these guys also need iron sticks and iron plates. So the iron plates come from there, and the iron sticks come from iron plate. So I'm going to make that here. Okay. Then we will have a logistics chest for each one of these. Why are you not running? Because you need iron sticks. Oh, because I put that backwards. Silly Emma. Right. And I do have something specific in mind with these. I'm going to... I need to make a little area that has robot bridge. That. Please stand closer so you can reach. There we go. I'm going to go fetch some concrete as well. We might as well make it look pretty. Actually, can I make my concrete? That's me. Yes. I was hoping I could be lazy and get the robots to fetch the concrete for me, but I can't. Let's go the slow way. Really running out now. Concrete. I didn't quite bring enough concrete. Okay, just pretend that corner is filled in. No one's gonna notice. Okay, and then I want to build something specific, which I have. So in this game, you can blueprint things. I think I've shown this before. So say I wanted to make more electric engines, I can do this. And then I have this blueprint for electric engines. And anywhere in my base I want to make electric engines, I can just take this out of my inventory and put it down. And it doesn't actually build anything, but it tells the robots to come and build it for me. So as long as I have the resources available and the robots available and so on, it just builds it. And you can, as you can imagine, you can build some enormous bases this way without having to do everything yourself. And you can import blueprints from elsewhere by pasting in a blueprint string. And here is a blueprint. Oh, it needs power. Good idea. Enough. Okay. These buildings, they're called substations. They provide power to a whole area. Rather than using these power poles. But they're quite expensive, and I only unlocked them like last stream. I think it's one of the last things you research. So everywhere else I was just using the normal power poles. So yeah, and this is, well, it's not built yet because why have I not got more of these available? Because somehow I'm not making enough copper wire. Really, even with this bit, I can't get the ratios correct. Okay, give me one moment while it builds. Tobago is still complaining about this corner, so let's go and get more concrete and fix the corner, shall we, to keep Tobago happy. I hope you're happy that I went all that way. There. Better? Happy now? Is that even missing? One entity is missing the material for construction. Oh. I forgot about that. So for context, what I did here was I accidentally blew up a nuclear reactor. And that's what this scorch mark on the ground is. And it destroyed this pump. I never replaced it. I was hoping the bots would replace it for me, but I never actually automated pumps, so it hasn't. So we've been doing without half of our steam power for like half the game. Emma is look. Harry wanted to see what would happen. Okay, I just wanted to amuse Harry. Where's offshore pump? It's not that one. It's that one. Yeah. It's just gears and pipes, so we can just make them here. Pipes. Oh, we literally don't have gears. Okay, never mind. Make gears here, and then make offshore pumps here, then make pipes here. I mean, they're all just made of iron anyway. Oh, and then that's not in Roboport range, so I need to build another Roboport. Nesper says, I love hearing Emma laugh. Well, it doesn't happen often, I'll be honest. Especially not at the moment, because I'm in a bit of a bad mood. But I'll do my best. Right. That working? Is not working. Because I always put these the wrong way around. There we go. Right, there we go. So now the bots can go and fix that for us. Entities are missing repair packs. So fun fact, you can actually put repair packs into a Roboport, and robots will actually go and repair your stuff for you. It's very helpful if, like me, you have a habit of crashing cars into your factory. Some lights. Yeah, thank you for that quote, Harry. So yeah, the relevant quotes are quote 30 and quote 31. And these quotes do come in sequence. Turns out shooting a nuclear reactor is a bad idea, both in game and in real life. Ruby says, "How can you be in a bad mood when I am here?" That is true, Ruby. That is very true. I'm definitely feeling better than I would have done if Ruby wasn't here. Ruby is always a net benefit to the situation. There is no situation that is not improved by the presence of Ruby. Ruby is amazing. Harry says, I was only disappointed that nothing happened when the temperature bar hit 100%. You decided that shooting it was a good idea. Yeah, the temperature bar, I think, is just, it doesn't produce maximum power output until it gets to maximum temperature. You don't have to build your own cooling system. I'm sure there are mods that add that sort of thing. El Tibago asks, is minimalism a scam created by Big Small to sell more less? Now that is an interesting question. Not sure if Alice is still here. I don't want to offend Alice by answering this question because I'm pretty sure Alice is in the pocket of Big Small. There's no other explanation for how she came across so many small items on her stream. Harry says, IRL, you won't get a chance to shoot a reactor. The security will have you shot. Will have shot you first. Quite possibly, yes. I don't know if we have armed guards and nuclear power stations in the UK. Maybe we do. I've never actually been inside one. But assuming Alice is not here, and I can talk freely about the nefarious things that Big Small get up to. The unironic answer to that question, Tibago, is yes. Minimalism. I don't know the best way to put it. Minimalism as an aesthetic is definitely something that has been targeted from a marketing perspective to sell products in a minimalist style. Even though minimalism would dictate that you don't buy these unnecessary products that you don't need. In the name of aesthetic. The unironic answer to that question is yes. Every aspect of our existence has been marketed to hell and back at this point, and minimalism is no exception to that. Harry says that seems like the sort of question to put you on a list. The power plant security one. I am almost certainly on many lists already, Harry. If there are, to be honest, I'm not convinced that our government is sufficiently organised to keep these supposed lists. But if they do exist, then I'm probably already on them. I'm not allowed to say what my brother does for a living, and I don't know exactly anyway. But at one point, he had the option to apply for the upper level of security clearance, where they don't just do a background check on you, but they do a background check on your whole family. And I was just like, well, if you do, good luck, but there's no way they're giving it to you because because your sibling is Emma. Who is really suspicious because her entire identity didn't exist until 5 years ago. El Tibago says, I am not Googling if nuclear plants have armed guards. I'll get put on another list. Tibago, What's happened to you? You've fallen off, honestly. Where's your sense of adventure? Since when have you cared about the government telling you what you can and can't do? Google. Do nuclear power plants have armed guards? Since 2005, every nuclear power station in the UK has had armed protection in the form of a special branch of the police force called the Civil Nuclear Constabulary. Employing over 1,600 police officers. So that answers that question. To be honest, I think they're mostly concerned with the transport of nuclear material. So for context, in the UK, we basically only have one facility for processing nuclear fuel. That's both for creating the fuel and reprocessing the waste afterwards, which is at Sellafield. So anytime a nuclear power station anywhere else in the country needs refueling, there is a convoy from Sellafield to wherever, and from wherever back to Sellafield. And there are videos of these convoys, YouTube if anyone's interested. So you have a bunch of regular police, you have a bunch of special police, you have a bunch of military vehicles, you have a truck with a giant reinforced container on the back, which I reckon is a decoy. I reckon all the nuclear fuel is in the boot of one of the police cars. They also transport some of it by train, apparently. Which I don't know whether there has ever been a nuclear replacement bus service. Which is what usually happens if you try and transport anything by train in this country. Right, where were we? we were building this thing. I haven't actually explained what it does yet. It doesn't put me on any more lists, at least I hope not. Harry says it's actually in some random transit a few kilometres away from the convoy. Yeah, that would be the way to do it, right? The cars would need really good suspension. I mean, nuclear fuel is pretty resilient. As long as you don't let it escape. Famously, the largest diamond ever mined, which, I mean, it was mined somewhere in South Africa, but then it went to, I believe, the Netherlands to be cut. And then it became part of the Crown Jewels, so it had to be transported to London from the Netherlands. And there was a press release put out that it was going to be transported on a Royal Navy ship. And how it was actually transported is the guy who cut it slipped it in his pocket and went there on the train. This is the largest diamond in the world, which would be very difficult to even assign a price to if it was for sale. Okay, right. What I'm going to do now is the music off, up, is down. Go. And then, if this actually works, so those of you who are around at the start of my streams might recognise this as my stream start music. which is now being played back in game. And this is all you need. That's how powerful the logic components are in this game. This is all you, and this, all of this is speakers. The actual logic is just this bit here. And it stores the entire song. Turn it down a bit while I'm speaking. Hello, Ratmost. Welcome in. I love the emotes. It's like our little Core Keeper concert, says Ren. Yeah, if only Core Keeper supported custom music. I have to say that the quality is not great. It's basically like there's 5 default MIDI sounds to choose from. I just like the fact that you can program the entire song into this much space. Ratmo says, I didn't know there were speakers in Factorio. Yes. That's what these are. And here are the different instruments that are available. You can specify a single note. But you can also control which note it plays by signals from the logic system. Yeah, it doesn't quite have the dynamics right, I'll be honest, so this bit is a bit weird, but it works. And yeah. So I should disclaimer, I didn't make this. This is somebody else's design, and I will link details of it in a moment. But the way it works is it's using logistics signals to encode the data for the song. Logistic signals consist of an item in the game followed by a number. So this is a logistic request for 37 wooden chests, 104 iron chests, 171 steel chests, and so on and so forth, up to 4.2 million nuclear reactors, 54 million heat pipes, and so on. And then the binary representation of those numbers is then decoded to decide which speaker to play at which time. But the logic to do that decoding is just these combinators here. There's 2 decider combinators, there's some arithmetic combinators, there's a constant combinator. And then these are all speakers. And then each of these combinators is basically play this speaker at the right time. It's amazing how much you can do with logic in Factorio. I will link for anybody who has played or wants to play this game and likes the idea of playing their own music in game. All you do is go to that website, upload a MIDI file, and you will get a Factorio blueprint in response. Any MIDI file, obviously I just exported my stream song as a MIDI file. So yeah, I wanted to show that off just as an example of how powerful this game can be. Let's put the rest of the sounds back up. About what they were. Okay. Ratmos says, "What?" And LT Bagger says, "I can almost hear this rat noise." Yes, well, we seem to be doing a shout out train today, so let's add Ratmost to the train. Best rat streamer. Possibly best rat. Possibly even best streamer. Who knows? I'll let you be the judge. Do go and check out Ratmost. Yeah, look, she has this emote. I mean, what's not to love? I would play some more songs on my new music machine, but I am a bit concerned about copyright. If I play anything well known, I'm obviously safe with my own music.
But not Best Penguin, because it is Liari.
Hello, Best Penguin. Listen, Izzy. I have made this very clear. Izzy is Best Purple Penguin. Liari is Best Crossword Penguin. You are joint holders of the title Best Penguin. And you are both amazing. Izzy, thank you so much for 13 months of your support. And for redeeming your flower of the day. Izzy says, no, Danny is Best Purple Penguin. But then what are you, Izzy? You have to be best something. Everybody here is best something. Ratmost is best rat. Nespar is best Ness. Harry is best green. Emma is best bot. Ren is best Ren. Ruby is best Ruby. Emma knows good penguins when she sees them. Very true. Now this right here, this is a good penguin. Okay, we finished messing around with that, I think. How is my actual factory doing? I see we're producing purple science again. EC says I'll be best the penguin, like the Batman villain. Hang on, I see why we're not getting any purple science. We were prioritising productivity modules earlier, but we don't need to do that anymore. We can put that back to being equally split. Honestly, I think we're just short of... Yeah, we're just short of copper still. Yeah, I think maybe we could do with upgrading this. Just as far as the red circuits, because they chew up quite a lot of copper. Yeah, as far as here. Although this copper is also getting used up. Where's this going? LDBagger asks Izzy if she would make a better penguin villain than Danny DeVito. I don't know about that. Don't forget, if anyone is ever in any doubt as to whether they are the best, I have provided a handy command which you can use to check your status as the best. It's not much purple science, is it? Let's be honest. I think we could do with a bit more. You need more of these, perhaps. Would help. Oh. There's not space. Fine, I'll build 3 more. It's alright, 7 is bigger than 3. Unless you are Liari where the best command lies. Maybe she is the best liar. Look, lying is a skill like everything else. Okay, I'm also going to double this up. Because I think we do actually have enough furnaces now. We just don't have enough production. I'm going to reroute this a bit lower. Oops. That is not the correct amount of low. Emma, you did it wrong. Fortunately, I have bots to clean up after me. Oh, I didn't even see that rock there. Be gone, box. And as for these trees, you wouldn't know I was a botanist, would you, from this attitude towards trees? Right, now I can build more of this. I can almost build 3 times as much, although that might be too much. Okay, well that should be more purple science. Will we get atomic bombs completed this stream? Maybe. I should have let this run off stream, but honestly I've been so busy I didn't even think to do it. So it's at 41%. Maybe we'll get to 100. Why is that train stuck there? Have I done something wrong? Yeah, we're not getting any iron because this train isn't moving. Oh. Why are railways so hard? Harry, you're a railway building expert. I've seen your open TTD style satisfactory layouts. You can answer this question for me. Why are railways so difficult? Okay, let's go and have a look what the problem is. Why is this... Yeah, now that I'm here, you move. Am I missing a signal? Why is this blocked? Just because there's a train in there. Oh, did I forget a signal here? Oh. Emma, you idiot, you didn't put a signal there. So every time somebody's stopped in the stone station, it blocks the entire line. Well, that's not much good. Okay. I think it's fixed now. I just put an extra signal in. You can go back to being automatic. Oh, we are getting very low on copper. Yeah, look this. Our entire starting patch of copper has run out, and this mine is starting to run out as well. If I was going to play this game any longer, which I'm probably not, we would really need to add more copper mining. Yeah, like there, or even there would be better. It's not a particularly complicated rail network. There's one central hub, and then there's a bunch of stations. And there's whatever this nonsense is. And this is the only bit that even has double track. Obviously, you can make much more complicated networks if you want to. Okay, that's the iron again. Yeah, we're just not producing that much copper, are we? What the hell. I might make another copper train. Maybe this one doesn't unload fast enough. We'll see. If I run out of things to do, I'll make another copper one. Still haven't been run over by a train, by the way. I have died once through shooting a nuclear power station. Haven't been run over by a train. I might have to if we get to the end of the stream and I still haven't, just so that it's happened. You had a few close calls. I did have a few close calls, yes. I did indeed. Oh, one thing I wanted to do was build some power armor. I don't have the Mark II power armor, do I? No. Problem is, it's more research to unlock it. And I'm trying to make the atomic bomb. I have exoskeletons, and I have Mark I power armor. Yeah, I could do some of that. So I mentioned earlier in the playthrough that there are ways to upgrade your walking speed. One of which is to put concrete everywhere. Another of which is to craft power armor and equipment for it. If you get the fully upgraded Mark II power armor, you actually go really, really fast. Like, so fast you can have trouble positioning yourself to build things. You can see the difference, by the way. This is the difference in concrete versus not concrete. It does make a difference. But yeah, if I make this, we need blue circuits. And we also need electric engines. Nom, don't mind if I do. Let me just yoink some of these as well. Who's got some blue circuits that they're not using? Exactly, Ratmos. That's the idea. Right, make one of them. And then I need more of these for the exoskeleton. electric engine. Orb and Dusk says there's an episode of Care Bears where the bad guy tries to cover the whole world in concrete. Really scared me as a kid. Yes, even Care Bears was too scary. Oh, poor Orban. Oh. It's okay. I will try not to do anything scary. I intentionally haven't researched the Spidertron because I think maybe not all my viewers would appreciate spiders. It doesn't look much like a spider, but it looks a bit like a spider. It has 8 legs, and it's called the Spidertron. It's the top tier vehicle, so you have the car and the tank, but yeah. Late game, you have this giant walking mech with 8 legs that can shoot rockets and climb over buildings and stuff. Also, one of the crafting ingredients is a fish, as in these. Can we research a crabulon? Sorry. You can research a Spidertron and then only walk sideways. Which would sort of be the same thing. Maybe I shouldn't stream again until this cough is gone. I'm terribly sorry. There's probably a mod that adds it. Okay, so we need to that, and then we need power. You can get the top tier power generation is like portable nuclear fusion, which I don't think we have yet. Where's the tech for that? Not sure. Oh, it's this, yeah. Portable fission reactor and then personal robot. Yeah, if you get this and the top tier power, you can get loads of stuff. But you can also just make solar panels. And then you get this little equipment grid and you put the equipment in here. And then it does nothing because it's not powered. How many can I fit in here? I mean, in theory you could fit 6, but you've got to put the power source in as well. Hi there, thank you for dropping by. Hope you're having a good day. Don't know if you've ever played Factorio. Hard to say this without naming the person who's just redeemed quite high, but if ever there was a game that you could do science-based streams off of, I think you could get quite far with this one. Some of it is a little bit of a departure from reality. Okay, you're talking, that's okay. Tofu says, I've been very much recommended a lot. Also, hello. Well, thank you for dropping by. And yes, I don't think my nuclear power setup is quite accurate to how a real power plant operates, but it would definitely be a good jumping off point to talk about some physics topics. And if you're here, I might as well add you to. I've been shouting out every streamer who comes in here tonight. Tiny Toxic Tofu is a science educator and content creator, and also actual academic as well. She's currently lecturing. She has a PhD, and somehow she still finds time to play these silly video games on the stream. And sometimes we actually learn things, which is nice. A big fan of science education streamers. I would like to be one myself, and so far all I have to show for that is my botany segments in the middle of my streams, but one day I want to do something a bit bigger and more interesting about botany. We'll see if we get there someday. But Tofu is absolutely amazing and has been very successful in her streaming career and deserves that quite thoroughly. Tofu says, I'm so terrible at shout-outs. I get so distracted with chatting. I should be better at it. And don't worry, Tofu. I mean, as I say, you're a big streamer. It's a different game when you've got big stream and the chat is going faster than you could possibly keep up with. You have to pick and choose what you say and who you say it to. So, no worries. Tofu says, hey Gertrude, did your stream have some problems? Lags or frame drops, my Twitch acted up. Everything looks good from this end, but I guess if there's problems, the others will let me know. I don't see anything from anyone else saying stream is broken. Twitch be twitching. Sorry. A few people seem to be complaining. Oh. Well, not in here. They're not. Maybe in other Twitch. I mean, if people in other streams are complaining, then that sounds like a Twitch problem, not a me problem. I mean, my stream has had problems before. Most famously when Tofu raided me with like 50 viewers, and my stream wasn't working. It's normally fine, I promise. Okay. Yeah, I was going to demonstrate, hopefully, that crafting all these things makes you run faster. I think you also need batteries for power storage, which, funnily enough, batteries are crafted out of batteries. Who would have guessed? To make a battery, you need 10 steel plates and 5 batteries, and then to make a Mark II battery, you need 10 Mark I batteries. Where did I put batteries? Oh, there they are. Convenient. Don't mind if I do. I think Mark I will be fine for this. Ratmost said, I saw a spectacular Twitch fail on Monday. Oh, not your own stream, I hope, Ratmost. Your stream is always very professional and sophisticated VTuber. Never any problems. I'm still thinking about what Auburn was saying earlier about the Care Bears episode where we cover the whole world in concrete. Because I was going to do that. I was going to try and concrete over my whole base. Now I'm worried about traumatizing Auburn by doing so. I was going to do this so that we have more storage for the concrete. Tofu says, holy smokes, that inventory is overwhelming. Okay, so first of all, only this part on the left is actually what I'm carrying. This on the right is the crafting menu. So if you're thinking about it like Minecraft, it's not quite the same because Minecraft you have to go to a crafting table to make something, whereas in this game you can just craft things at any time. Although there are some things that need a machine. This is still quite overwhelming as an inventory, but that's because I don't do any inventory management at all and I just let it fill up with random crap. I mean, I don't actually need that, or 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 those, or that. Or probably not that either. Or that, or those, or that, or that. But, you know, who's got time for inventory management? I mean, really. It was the Mr. Sark, who's been on Twitch for about a decade. Any game he tried to capture was displaying at 8 FPS. Yeah, well, you know, some people can't afford the latest, greatest hardware, and streaming is very demanding. So, you know, sometimes it happens. I know that our dear friend Wildflower was having some issues a few weeks ago. And she has a channel point redeem that puts a monochrome filter on the whole stream. And I redeemed it, and for some reason that improved the frame rate. And then people came in and I was like, oh, loving the vibe of today's stream. I was like, it's not a vibe, I just pressed the button and the stream got less laggy. But yeah, it's frustrating when you're trying to stream and your stuff isn't working. I can relate to that. Oh wow, are we really 2 hours in already? We are really 2 hours in already. Thank you, T-Bagger. Well, that's good. We might be able to do a botany redeem while Tofu is here. I'm sure she'd appreciate it. Not a botanist, but can hopefully
Twiggy Mullen, Wand Mullen, Verbascum virgatum.
tell me if my scientific content is any good. Twiggy Mullen, also known as Wand Mullen. Tibago, is this your attempt to find an obscure plant again? Because I've not heard of that one. He does this sometimes, Tibago. He tries to find a plant that's not in any of my books. Hasn't succeeded yet. Well, we'll leave this machine making some more concrete and researching atomic weaponry. And we'll do our little midstream break, although we probably won't go for the full 4 hours today. No, just a nice plant this time. Ah, good to hear. I look forward to being pleasantly surprised by it. Oh dear. Baggo has an idea for something, I think. Oh, gonna do some stretches as per your request. Oh, if anyone's been sat for 2 hours, now's a good time to get up, move around, have a stretch, maybe take a sip of water. So when I'm not playing video games on the internet, I am a botanist in real life, and I like to share that with my audience. For 1,000 channel points, you can pick any British wildflower and I will talk about it. I will also take this opportunity, now that there's a few more people here, to say that I am having a poll on my Discord for the next game that we play. And there's a link to my Discord if you're not already a member, where you can vote and hang out and be cool and talk about random crap and look at LT Bago's feed of memes that he keeps posting. We have some more serial meme posters in the Discord now. I noticed Ratmost has been sharing some. So it's actually not just T-Bago anymore, which is nice. Oh. Okay, that should do for the stretching. Excuse me. Do apologise for all the constant coughing. Thought it would be less of a problem by now. It's 3 weeks since I got the cold originally. Okay, Verbascum virgatum, commonly known as Twiggy Mullein and Wand Mullein. So I know that Mulleins are characterised by this big spike of yellow flowers. So I suspect this is the same. Yes, it is. Oh wow, quite a bit bigger yellow flowers than the more common mulleins. Um, that's actually really pretty. Thank you, Tibago, for uh, recommending it. I'm just looking for good pictures. I don't usually share botanical drawings on here. I try and keep to photos because show what the plant actually looks like. But botanical drawings can be really useful. There's a reason that a lot of books tend to have those rather than just photos, which is that the drawing can be carefully broken down to show every feature of the plant, the flower, the seeds, the leaves, in exactly the right size and angle, and you can capture every point in the plant's life cycle. Much better than you could do with a photo, at least with one photo. You'd have to come back and photograph the same plant repeatedly to get anything comparable. So I'm going to share... here we go. 2 pictures. We have... the leaves, seeds, and flowers are on my right here, and we also have a drawing of it on the left. So yeah, big yellow flowers in a big spike, and we were actually talking about this the other day. This is what's called a whorl of flowers. So the flowers are arranged around the stem, and I mean you can see here from where obviously the seeds are growing from the same place as the flowers were. At first glance, it looks like a continuous spiral, but it isn't. There's one whorl, and then there's another whorl, and there's another whorl. So there is a bit of a space between them, but it's basically a spiral, and the spacing, like the angle between each flower on the stem, and it's the same with leaves, the angle between each leaf on the stem, is actually... it's like an irrational fraction of a circle or something. Like it's an angle such that you never get 2 leaves overlapping each other and depriving each other of sunlight. So you don't just have a leaf and then like a quarter turn and another quarter turn and another quarter turn. It's done so that the leaves never overlap each other and the flowers never overlap each other. To maximize how much you can pack into a given amount of space and how much sunlight you can get from a given amount of area. El Tibago is posting crabulons in Discord, apparently. So you are, Tibago. Well, that's another reason to go there, I guess, as if you needed more reasons. Just going to get one of my books. This is the BSBI Plant Atlas. It's huge, heavy, and extremely, extremely awkward to use. But I guess that's part of the charm, and it will tell us a little more about the habitat and distribution of this plant. Verbascum virgatum. So there are many plants in this family. The Latin name is Verbascum. The common name is mullein. There are a few native ones. The most common native one is called great mullein, which is, as its name suggests, quite large. But there are also, I mean, the book here lists about 12 of them. Moth mullein, twiggy mullein, which is this one, purple mullein, orange mullein, dense flowered mullein, nettle leaf mullein, white mullein, Hungarian mullein, dark mullein, hoary mullein, and a few others that are so obscure they don't even have common names. Dark mullein is the only other native one, and that one is a bit more rare. The others are all imported species. So, usually garden escapes. This one book has this to say. A usually biennial winter green herb, naturalised on dry banks, walls, field margins, rough grassland, pastures and sheltered sea cliffs in southwestern England. Elsewhere found as a casual or sometimes persisting on waste ground, refuse tips reseeded road verges, sand pits, tracks, active and disused railways, and disturbed coastal dunes. So yeah, when a plant's habitat is given as refuse tips, road verges, and disused railways, you can guess that it's a non-native plant that's finding places to grow after it's escaped from a garden. It reproduces by seed, easily colonising open habitats, but does not tolerate much competition. It was first recorded in the wild in Britain in 1787. It has been present in significant numbers in Devon and Cornwall on the southwest of England. For a long time, its distribution there appears stable. In the past, it was considered to be possibly native to Devon and Cornwall, but it's now thought not to be. It has gradually increased elsewhere, especially in eastern England, where it is much more common now than 30 years ago. And increases of that magnitude in that short space of time are usually due to human activity. Both planting it in gardens and letting it escape, and also the creation of suitable habitats like road verges and rubbish tips. Tibago says that this plant is native to France and Spain, but is widely found in Europe, North and South America, Canada and Australia. Yes. Any plants that are popular in gardens tend to find their way to most of the world. They don't necessarily survive in the wild in all parts of the world, but anywhere with a reasonably similar climate to its native habitat, then it generally will. Hello, Luke. Welcome in. Thank you for redeeming Hairy Tear as your flower of the day. I love the name of Hairy Tear. A very delicate little white flower. Do a quick shout out to Luke Ainsworth, who is quite possibly the best dwarf romantic player of all time. A game which I am a huge fan of. Consistently beating me in the monthly challenges. And he does stream Dwarf sometimes, and sometimes some other games as well, so definitely worth checking out. Forgive my cough. And thank you for the hug, Luke. It's very nice of you. Return it. There we go, I have returned the hug. We are just talking about this plant, which you can't really see the flower, can you? I'm sort of use the factory happening in the background, kind of blocking it. There we go, there's the flower. I was just about to get up the distribution map. There is a website called bsbi.org, BSBI standing for Botanical Society of Britain and Ireland, who aggregate all sorts of data about plant distribution. A data set which I have contributed to significantly myself during my lifetime. And so these are the areas in which the plant has been found. These big squares are 10 by 10 kilometre squares, which are a lot of the historic records. That's all we know because GPS hadn't been invented. But more recent records are at a finer scale, which are these small dots. The darker the dot, the more recent the record. So these pale white dots here mean that the plant was there sometime before the 1930s. You can see there's a lot of places it's no longer found, but you can see it's taken quite a liking to the South Devon coast. And this stretch of coast here, which is actually known as the English Riviera, it's very mild, especially this part, because the prevailing wind is from the southwest. So this coast here is sheltered. So you get a lot of things like palm trees growing there. So the fact that this plant grows here... the fact that this plant likes to grow here when it's native to France and Spain makes a lot of sense. This is the closest you'd get to a Mediterranean climate in the UK. Yeah, as a garden escape, it can also be found in large urban areas. Liverpool, Nottingham, Cambridge, London all have some records of it. Where I live, which is somewhere in this circle, I won't dox myself, in North Somerset, there's not a lot of it, although looks like there's one near Frome that's escaped. Luke says, speaking about monthly mode, you're really good with the short time ones. Yeah, I thought I had a chance of getting first place in last month's monthly mode. It's my second time attempting the December monthly mode because I also attempted it last December and streamed that attempt as well. And I was first place right up until the end of the month, and then somebody beat me. So I don't know what it takes to be first. Sadly, the Steam leaderboards aren't updated anymore, so you can't see what the first place score was or who got it. You can only see what position you're in, and I was second, so somebody beat me. One day... I'm determined to keep trying the monthly mode until... either it stops working or nobody plays the game anymore, and then I'll be first by default, I guess, that nobody else bothered to try it. But yeah, they're not doing new challenges now, it's just the same 12 going round in a loop every month. So I ought to get one eventually. Okay, let me just put these books back. I'm not going to go too late today. I have work tomorrow. Or some of my viewers do as well. But we'll at least go for another hour or so and then maybe end. Okay, let's see how my factory is doing. 48% done with atomic weaponry. Probably not going to finish that this stream. Oh well. I got to show off the music machine, which is something. Yes, as Luke says, the developers of Dorf Romantic are working on a new game. Time to traumatize Auburn, if they're still here. By covering the entire world in concrete. It does make you walk faster. For the sake of efficiency, you should do it. Tibago was looking up the uses of Twiggy Moline. Nothing very interesting with the uses on this one. Seems it's most well known for being good tinder for friction fire making. That makes sense. It has one main long stalk, and it is a woody shrub, not just a herb. So yeah, long, straight, fast-growing twigs, relatively thin twigs, is what you'd want for that sort of thing. So that makes perfect sense. Luke says, in regards to the new game by the Dwarf developers, I'm not sure whether the developers are still studying. I guess they should have finished, but I don't know their current situation. I don't either. They announced the new game, and then I've not really heard anything else about it since. I was going to upgrade my movement speed, wasn't I? I can fit one more exoskeleton in here, I think. Can I afford one more exoskeleton? No. Okay. But yeah, I'll demonstrate the difference. If I take those out, and then make one more. I wish you could walk through pipes. You can walk over belts, and all it does is slow you down, but you can't walk through pipes. Luke says, when I think about it, the developers are surely younger than me. They're almost certainly younger than me as well. And probably most of my other viewers as well. I think pretty much everyone on the internet is younger than I am at this point. Okay, so this is my speed without the power armor, and then this is my speed with the power armor. As you can see, it's quite a bit faster, and now the bots really can't catch me. I mean, they couldn't catch me before, but now look, I shouldn't really troll them like this, but yeah, now they're going to fly off to recharge. So this does drain power. So eventually, yeah, the power runs out and I have to start moving at normal speed again. I can fix that by adding in even more solar panels. And if you combine the extra movement speed with concrete, then even faster. Another thing you can do is when you run on a belt, you get moved along by the belt, as you can see here. So if you're running in the same direction as a belt, you actually go faster. So if you can afford it, you can actually plot down the express tier belts everywhere and then run along them. So there's lots of things you can do to go faster, even without getting in a car. Luke says, I'm not sure I am next month 32, and you are surely under 29. I am not under 29, Luke. I'm 37. Okay. He's very much more than 29. Thanks for the compliment, I guess. I'm not going to have enough concrete to cover my entire base. If I wanted to do that, I'd need to massively ramp up my concrete production. Use most of my stone and iron to make it. It can be done. Luke says, pretty close. It is not said 29 forever or so on. It's not that close. Trust me, it feels like a long time ago that I was 20 anything. Maybe because I hadn't transitioned then, so it just feels like a completely different life. But I get what you mean. Interestingly, mining drills can still operate even if you place concrete. Quite how they mine through the concrete, I'm not sure. But you can do it, and they still work. And it does make things look a little bit cleaner to have the concrete here. Although nature tries to do its thing, and you do get weeds growing through the concrete, whether you want them there or not. Luke says, me neither, finished school 14 years ago. El Tibago says, seems Tucana, the developers of Dwarf Romantic, were posting on socials throughout December, but no real timeline updates, mostly just promo stuff. Yeah, their new game, I think it's called Starbirds. I will definitely play it when it comes out, given how much I liked their other game. If it looks like it will be a good game to stream, then I will definitely stream it. I might wait for the hype to die down a little first if it gets hyped up, because then big streamers come and play it, and I can't compete with them. But we'll see. But yeah, now look, with the power armor and the concrete, I can go really, really fast. Although only for a small time. But all that concrete that I had stored up was only enough to do this much of my base, and the base is this long, and this is not even a particularly large base. So yeah, if you want to concrete everything, you really have to commit to it. And manufacture as much as you can. Okay, we are still short of purple science. Tibago says Starbirds looks interesting for sure. Yeah. Yeah, the only information they've put up, it says planned release date 2025. But whether that means February 2025 or December 2025, I don't know. So it may be coming to this stream soon, or it may not. I don't know. We will just have to see. Okay. So the purple science production is actually being held up by lack of steel. Interesting. Why don't we have enough steel? Guessing it's because of a lack of iron. Yeah. Let me see if I can pinch some iron from this one. There we go. It gives us slightly more to work with. Why is that one not running? Oh, this one hasn't got an inserter to output the steel. That was a slight oversight. Okay, that should help a bit. Oh, we're also short of stone bricks. Ah, because we only ever built half of the stone brick factory because we weren't using very much. Let me correct that now. Okay. No, hang on. Done it wrong. I've just put stone into the iron. Emma, why are you so bad at this game? Okay, I think that was all the stone that got through. 2025 is pretty soon, so I was like, well, this is the thing. It is 2025, and the release date is 2025, so it should be coming out now. But I don't know whether that's now or 11 months from now. Maybe we can ask the developers for promoting it and get some keys to share. At least they have offered it to content creators for the full release of Dwarf Romantic. Yeah, I don't like asking for keys. I haven't done so before, and I'm not about to start now. I don't think I'm a big enough streamer for any developer to really want to do that. I can see them doing it to streamers who get hundreds of views, because there's actually a chance you get your return on investment for the cost of the key. Yeah, it's not something I'm going to mention. Okay, well, we're making stone bricks now at least. Get more iron through here. I suppose I could just make another row of steel smelting. We're getting a bit short of space though, unless I put it all the way up here. I suppose I could put it all the way up there, like there's no reason not. Okay, let's do that. Ratmo says, right, might as well ask. I don't know, it just feels a bit rude to ask that sort of thing. As an obviously very small streamer. Okay, up there. I think I'm going to need another RoboPort. Ratmo says it's not always about size. You've got access to a lot of people in their target market. I mean, not really. I mean, yes, their target market is people who have played Dwarf, but those people already know about it. Their target market is people who don't already know about it. How can they not give a key to the Dwarf 25,000 speedrun record holder, says Tibago. Well, because as far as they're concerned, speedrunning is not a thing that you do with Dwarf. I don't think they're even aware that that's a thing. Why do we have no iron? Where is our iron train? Oh, there's our iron. Please hurry up with the iron. We are very short on it. Okay, and then I'll split this here and send the excess to steel. I think I'll just feed in that much. It's not going to fully saturate this machine, but it'll be enough. The bots aren't going to build the rest of it for me unless I build another RoboPort. Connect this to the rest of the steel. It's all the way down here. Out of yellow splitters. Okay, I'm out of yellow splitters. I'll just use a red one. I'm out of yellow underground belts. Apparently, no, I'm not. No. The thing with the portable solar panels is they only work in the daytime. So if you're running around at night, you don't actually get a speed boost. Okay, this is somewhat working. We are at least getting some extra steel. To do that. Yeah, we don't want... Shouldn't be any coal on this side of the belt. I've done it slightly wrong. There we go. Luke says, I know the community manager and some of the developers from Discord. She's quite similar. We know many people on Twitch. Yeah, I don't really know the developers. I mean, I may have interacted with them a couple of times, but I don't know them by name. There's really only one game developer who I know, like, I've actually spoken to any significant amount, which is for a game that I don't stream because it's a incredibly esoteric logic game, and I don't think they would give me keys even if I did stream it. Where is all this steel actually going? What are we spending it on? Here. Oh, it is just on making purple science. I suppose purple science does use a lot of steel, because each science pack is 30 rails, and 2 rails is 1 steel plate, so it's 15 steel plates per purple science. If you imagine each one of these little purple flasks represents 15 pieces of steel, you can see that that is actually quite a lot of steel. What else we're using steel for? Oh, these things, the low density structures. Yeah, these also need a lot of steel. Yeah, I can make it prioritize the purple science. Do this, but I don't think we're going to finish it this stream. And I think I'll give this game a break. It's not been that popular. It's been really popular with YouTube, strangely enough. The first episode of my Factorio series got over 1,000 views on YouTube. I mean, the average watch time was only about 15 minutes out of the 4-hour stream, but if you work that out, that's still more average viewers than my stream had by quite some margin. I think all of my most viewed videos now are Factorio videos, so clearly people on YouTube like it. But I think that's just because people search for Factorio and they don't search for other games I play. The thing is, I don't really want attention on YouTube because that just correlates with more transphobic comments I have to delete. I really just want my YouTube to be a VOD archive that nobody bothers about. So that in itself is not a reason for me to stream it anymore. Izzy says, I wasn't aware I made esoteric logic games. Well, yes, I've interacted with you, Izzy, but I haven't interacted with you in your role as a game developer. I'm not even. Oh, I do know what game you worked on. Yeah, because you have a link to the studio on your website. But it's not a game I've played. No, I don't count interacting with a game developer as a friend rather than as a game developer. Laundry arcade machine logic. Matmo says that, Izzy, I didn't know you made games. Izzy does indeed work for a game development studio, which is very cool. I would never personally partake in the game development industry. I don't think I could handle it. And so much of it is just so toxic that I wouldn't even want to. I realise not everywhere is. I'm sure the place Izzy works isn't, but I wouldn't even want to go down that road. I think if I could help it. Luke says, I played so many cozy little games, but these games barely have followers on Twitch. This could happen with Dorfomantic as well. Yeah, I mean, Dorfomantic barely has any followers by the standards of most games, like your Fortnite, Valorant stuff. But I have played some extremely obscure games on Twitch. Things like Tetrabot and Concrete Jungle. I mean, I'm sure somebody has streamed Concrete Jungle before. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person who's streamed, like, actual strategy of trying to get a high score in Concrete Jungle rather than just, here's a playthrough of the campaign. Because there's only 3 people above me on the high score table, and I don't think any of them stream. And that is a very, very obscure game. There are some YouTube playthroughs from when it was first released, if you go back however many years that is now, but nobody knows about it now. Same with Tetrabot. Again, these are just games that have been forgotten. Which I think is a shame. They don't have much replayability. Certainly Tetrabot doesn't. It's like just a puzzle game you play through and then you're done with it. But, you know, the next generation of gamers is not ever going to know about those games. And I think that's sad because they are still perfectly playable, you know. And everybody hears about classic games that got a lot of attention and nobody hears about these forgotten ones. Luke says, Ratmost, in the end, we're all humans, and as long as you're being friendly and be short with your requests, they'll answer you in the same way. Possibly. Izzy says, that's fair. I do try and keep my work and my Twitch life separate. The people where I work are nice, but honestly, I could ply my trade outside of games and make a bunch more money. The games industry, unfortunately, takes advantage of its passion of its workers. I mean, I'm not making any more money by not doing game development. The problem I have is I'm only earning a couple of slightly below inflation pay rises in the last 10 years. 10 years ago, I was earning about double minimum wage. I'm now earning about 30% more than minimum wage. Minimum wage is rising much faster than wages in the UK are. And so if current trends continue, within about 5 years, I will be on minimum wage. But so will most of the rest of the country. So, you know, at that point, why do I bother putting any effort into my job at all when I could get the same for doing a completely unskilled job somewhere else? Luke says, I speak about 20 or less followers on Twitch with the game is barely streamed. I mean, the number of followers a game has on Twitch doesn't really correlate with how many people stream it, to be honest. Like, there are lots of games that were popular and then nobody streams them anymore. At best, it correlates with how much people used to stream it. Concrete Jungle has 127 followers on Twitch, and I'm pretty sure nobody has streamed it since I did my stream. Tetrabot & Co. Has 85 followers. I'm pretty sure no one streamed it since I did. So Yeah, you can have a lot more than 20 followers and still have absolutely nobody having heard of these games. Hello. Speaking of obscure indie game developers, um, that's quite some timing you have there, Snail Simulator Dev. Did you hear us talking about game development and decide to drop in? Snail Simulator Dev says, "Yo, I love Factorio." Okay. First of all, shout out to Snail Simulator Dev because they do stream. No surprises, they stream Snail Simulator. If you haven't played Snail Simulator before, it's available on Steam. It's a game where you're a snail. So there's this world that you can move through, and you're a snail. So you go very slowly. And so it takes about 10 hours to get to the other side. People play this, believe it or not. In particular, our good friend Ophelia. Thanks for doing the Twitch shout out. But I will link the. There we go. There's a link to the game on Steam as well. Our good friend Ophelia was a big fan of Snail Simulator. There is a part of the game, there's a special prize you can get in the game if you snail constantly in the same direction for about 40 hours. Ophelia has done this 3 times. She is a big fan of the game, and so she has streamed it a few times, and she actually has her own house in the game as a result of having streamed it so much. Luke says, "Oh, Snail Simulator, why do I have to think about Ophelia as well?" Because Ophelia is the one who plays it, and who I'm pretty sure everyone here who knows about the game was introduced to it by Ophelia. I don't think any of us had heard about it before, so we do have her to thank for that. Snail Simulator Dev says, "Shallow." Yes, shallow to you too. Let me share my my collection of snail emotes. Here's Ophelia's snail emote, but I actually have one from Hazel Azazelzel as well. I do quite like this snail. What do you think to that? Sorry, by the way, we are... What I'm mostly doing is chatting with my viewers, but we are playing Factorio, believe it or not. We're only playing vanilla, not the DLC, but here is my base. It's not exactly huge, but I like it. It's nice. Everything is neatly organised. We have rockets being launched at this end. We have science being done at this end. We have trains. We have nuclear reactors. Ignore this giant remnant of an explosion from my... I decided to find out what happened when you shot bullets at a nuclear reactor. Turns out it's a bad idea. Who would have known? Ratmos says, to Izzy, I can relate to the game industry problem. Do something you love and you'll work really hard all the time and take everything personally. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Has anybody climbed the stairway the slow way as many times as Ophelia? Asked Tibago. Probably not. I don't want to say no, because I don't know if we have any way of tracking those things. I've done it once. And I have also joined Ophelia on parts of other expeditions. There is actually a way to go fast in Snail Simulator. I'm not sure if the dev approves of it, and I'm not sure if Ophelia approves of it, but the jump button is uncapped, so you don't just press jump once and jump. You can spam jump, and you can jump as high as you want. So if you jump whilst you're sideways on a vertical surface, your horizontal speed is uncapped. But you also have absolutely no control over the steering, so you have to be absolutely pointing the direction you want to go. And if you overshoot even a little bit, it's about half an hour to slither back to where you meant to land. So it's definitely, as movement options in video games go, you know, I've played a lot of platformers. I've tried, you know, rocket jumping in Team Fortress and bunny hopping in Counter-Strike. Snail Simulator has a very unique movement option in the snail jumping, and I appreciate that. Ooh, that's a lovely emote you have there, Snail Dev. From Draw Curiosity. Animated snail. Luke says, I thought you were referring to her Dwarf Romantic gameplay. No, Ophelia is also a huge fan of Dwarf, which she has played even more than Snail Simulator. But a lot of people know about Dwarf Romantic from other sources, including myself. I think Ophelia played a big part in spreading the word about Snail Simulator, as did a few other streamers. I think there's 3 or 4 houses in the streamer area on the map for the streamers who played it. I did, at one point I did have a sign. There was a sign dedicated to me in the game at the top of the snailway, which was put there at Ophelia's request. Shooting your nuclear reactor is a must. How can one live not knowing what happens? Asks Snail Simulator Dev. Yes. Well, you definitely you can't live knowing what happens. It's sort of. Let me see if I can find the clip. Oh, no, don't go to my own stream whilst I'm streaming. Otherwise we get stuck in an infinite loop. I think that's what happens. Okay, Harry's just clipped This Is a Good Penguin from earlier. I was specifically looking for this clip. Yeah, turns out, bad idea. Orban Dusk says, don't you want to find out hashtag YOLO? Well, I could do it again, but then I'd have to build another nuclear reactor. I was hoping I could have finished the atomic bomb research and then I could have observed from a distance what happens. Actually, I wonder if... Do normal rockets have enough range to safely test this? Because I can make normal rockets. If I make a rocket launcher, an explosive rocket. Luckily in this game you live multiple times. Yeah, dying in this game doesn't actually do anything. You drop your items on the ground, and if you die in the middle of a pack of biters, you might struggle to get back. I'm playing with biters off, though, so that's not a problem. Luke says, with covered hairs, I have needed one moment to recognise you. Oh, you mean I was wearing a headband in that clip? Yes. Well... Surely you can recognise this shelf behind me and think, well, that must be Emma. Who else could it be? Snail Simulator Dev says, I know you can shoot an atomic bomb from a safe range. Outside of that, I don't know. Yes, well, I'm researching atomic bombs, but I don't think I'm going to finish it this stream because I'm going to end soon. But let's make a normal explosive rocket. I don't have any explosives because... I haven't really been automating them because I don't need them. As part of my supposedly peaceful playthrough. Okay. Right, let me shoot it down to low health, and then oh, hang on, no, the robots are helpfully repairing the damage. Okay, I'm going to take the repair packs out so that they can't do that. Okay. And then let's see if we can... hang on, which weapon? There we go. Can I stay outside the blast radius of this? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes, you can. Okay, lesson learned. You can safely shoot a nuclear reactor. The word safely is doing some heavy lifting there. Also, yeah, my base is now broken again. These things are very expensive. I should really stop doing that. I put the power line back. The bots will rebuild some of it. I haven't automated turbines yet, though. To be honest, if we're not doing much else, we probably don't need... yeah, we can almost satisfy our power demands without the without the nuclear reactor. Okay, good to know that it can be done safely. Luke says it's amazing how different hairstyles are changing the faces. It's similar to glasses and beards. Well, I won't be trying those, but I do have a channel point redeem to do a headband. Among other things, I have quite a lot of redeems now. Still trying to think of more to add. Maybe I should add a redeem to suggest new redeems. Okay. How are we doing for time? Okay, it's almost 3 hours. I'm going to wrap up things in just a moment here, probably, because we're not going to finish the atomic bomb today. But hopefully I've shown everybody enough of Factorio that they get a good idea of what it is and what you do, and whether it's a game that they would be interested in. I'll drop a quick link to the game on Steam as well. Although it's worth noting, the game never goes on sale. The devs have committed to never having a sale on this game. They might change their mind in years and years from now when it's an old game, but for now it's full price £30, even if there are sales on. A redeem to recommend new redeems which could be redeemed in the future. I like the attitude. Yeah, something like that. I think this game is fun. This is the way that Emma's mind works. Emma likes things to be neat and organised. And not exploded. The thing is, if I ever do play the expansion, things are going to be very much more untidy and very much more exploded, just due to the nature of what sort of things get added by the expansion. Have a look at what our factory has managed to do. 2.3 million copper cables, 1.9 million iron plates, 600,000 circuits. Seems like a lot, but I think there's actually an achievement for... yeah, there's an achievement for producing 20 million electric circuits. If you thought that was... There's also... this one here is quite difficult to get, apparently, producing 5,000 blue circuits per hour. Right now, we are producing about 1,300 blue circuits per hour. So you'd need a factory like 5 times the size of this one to do that. And then you'd need a rail network 5 times the size to keep it fed with resources and so on. Even to get the in-game achievements, you need to go quite a bit bigger than I've gone. And then, you know, on top of that, people try and build the biggest base they can. Once you've unlocked all of the tech tree, which you can't see because my face cam's in the way, these two here and this one, these are infinite researches. I don't know if you can see, but it says 6 to infinity in the corner. And they use all the science packs. This one uses 6 of the 7 types of science pack. There is one that uses all 7. I might not have unlocked yet. But basically, you can hook one of these up and run it forever, and you will just keep. It will get more and more expensive, and your robots will get faster and faster, and there's no end. So you can just set up your base to run forever, and see how much science you can produce per minute. Science per minute is like the standard measurement of what your base is capable of. How much am I doing? Yeah, right now I'm producing 876 science per minute. Well, no, sorry, 878 per hour, 14 and a bit per minute. The community sort of have this idea that for a Factorio base to be considered a mega base, you have to be producing at least 1,000 science per minute. So it needs to be at least 1,000, and I'm doing just under 15. So that should put things into perspective as to how much you would actually need to build to achieve that. Luke says, I know Factorio from another streamer, but I guess it's a game I like more to watch others playing it than giving it a try myself. That's fair. I can definitely see that. I find that with some types of game as well, like RPGs. We have an Ask Redeem from LTBago. LTBago says, if you decide that you are indecisive, are you decisive or indecisive? So, to be indecisive is to frequently fail to reach decisions about things. I don't think anyone would interpret indecisive to mean that you never decide anything at all. Otherwise, like, you wouldn't decide to get up in the morning and eat breakfast or whatever. So being indecisive just means you are generally indecisive. If you decide that you're indecisive, then that's just one decision that you've made out of however many things you might need to decide on. And in making that decision, you have presumably recognized in yourself a general trend towards indecisiveness. So my answer to that would be that you are indecisive if you decide that you're indecisive. Because making one single decision does not absolve you of being indecisive. Hope that helps, T-Bagger. I think I'm going to end things here because it's 10:30. I need to go to bed. Harry probably needs to go to bed. Going to I don't really understand how this machine works. I want to do a hyperspeed playthrough of my stream music. I have an idea. Let me do that. And then if I deconstruct this one and can reuse the same resources to get back in. Go. Yes, Howie is going to bed soon. Just gonna wait for the bots to place everything. Come on, bots. Why are you missing the speakers? It's exactly the same number as it was before. Okay, there we go. Right, let's see how that goes. I need to do. Go. Extra fast stream music. I've never listened to it this fast before. Actually sounds quite nice. Matcha Catcher Nightcore version, says Deepacker. You'd need to change the instruments around a bit for that as well. But yes. Well, I think that's a good place to end things. You? Excuse me. Tibago says, for it to be Nightcore, it would need to be pitched up to match the speed up. How much time have we got? Eight notes are higher than what the selected instrument can play. Yeah, the range of factorio instruments is slightly slightly smaller than what MIDI can handle. So we do have a small problem there. I mean, this one is going to be higher pitched, so maybe it'll work. We'll try this. Ren says, what did you use to compose the MIDI in ancient times? I wrote MIDI software. I exported it from MuseScore, which is perhaps too modern for you to have worked on it, but yes, oops, I did not mean to deconstruct the concrete. Trying to deconstruct this. I used MuseScore to compose the stream start music and also Ophelia's stream music originally. And the version you hear when my stream starts up is actually just MuseScore playback. It's pretty good these days. It doesn't sound quite as bad as MIDI playback used to. Right, import this. This should be a pitched up version. Okay. It's complaining it's missing a nuclear reactor. I wonder why. I once bought a wavetable synthesis add-on board for Sound Blaster. I know what all those words mean. There we go. Pitch shifted stream start. There we are. I'm spinning in game as well. What more could you want? You've got so many dancing emotes, Harry. Okay. Yeah, believe it or not, this is a factory building game, not a MIDI playback game. There's so much stuff you can do with the programmable logic in the game, though. I should mention, as well as speakers, another thing you can do is if you place a lamp, you can connect it to the circuit network. Let's just place a constant combinator. You can connect it to the circuit network and then tick this use colors thing, and you can pass separate signals for the red, green, and blue components, or you can pass a single signal where there's like 8 bits per channel. So you can make a screen, and obviously once you have a display and logic, you can make pretty much whatever you want. Yes, people have made bad apple on it, as you do on any display that can be programmed. But yeah, like if I was to tick in here, where is it? Set red to 100. See, the light is glowing slightly red now. If I make it up to like 400, now it's glowing bright red. I could put a blue in, and now it's pink, and so on. So yeah, just repeat this about 1,000,000 times, and you have a screen. So the possibilities are endless. And I think we'll just leave things at that. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I'm going to be back on Friday, hopefully at 6:30. I do want to commit to my new earlier starting time. It does rather depend on me getting off work at a reasonable time. So so we shall see. But hopefully 6:30 on Friday, we'll be playing a new game. Right now, it looks like that new game will be Botany Manor, which is a puzzle game about botany set in Somerset. So it ought to be my sort of game, you would think. But there is a poll going on my Discord to decide which game to play. People have also voted for Lingo and Planet of Lana. If you'd like to contribute to that poll, you are more than welcome. If you are not in my Discord yet, would like to join, there is a link. Wow, Lana, thank you so much for the resub. 10 months already. I cannot believe it has been that long. Lana, we're just about to raid out, but I'm glad you've dropped by. Thank you for redeeming your flower, and do stick around for the raid. Funny that I literally just said Planet of Lana. Literally, the moment I said Planet of Lana, there she is. Yeah, Planet of Lana is on there because a certain panda is a big fan of it, which might have something to do with the fact it has Lana in the name. And she is very much hoping that I play that one, but I will. I won't just play the winning one. I'll prioritize things based on how many votes they get, and if nobody votes for something, I won't play it. And if some people vote for it, I'll play it eventually. That's the way I try to do things. So Lana, thank you for the lurk. That was much appreciated, and thank you for the resub. And everybody, Lana is the most amazing streamer as well. You do need to go and check her out. It is mandatory. If you're not already following her, what are you doing with yourselves? She does a lot of RPGs, things like Red Dead Redemption 2, which I really enjoyed. She's currently doing The Witcher 3, which is also really fun. Luke says, thank you much for the cozy stream. I wish you a good night. Goodbye, Luke. Thank you for joining us. We are just about to raid out. So if you're able to stick around for the raid, that'd be great. But don't worry if not. Thank you once again. Lana says, thank you for the combos. No, Lana, listen. Every time I come to your stream, you shout me out. So it's only fair that I do the same. It's only fair. Yes, so game vote on Discord. Go cast your vote now. Lana wants you to vote for Planet of Lana. I don't mind who you vote for. And we will play that game on Friday. Saturday will be the final stream of 7 Billion Humans, most likely. We only have the red levels left to do. They are the hardest levels, but I'm hoping we can work through them. And then Sunday, we will be back to viewer requests. Having done Goa Goa last week, the next one on the request list is Mini Metro, which was requested by Alhuno. I'm sure people will enjoy that as well. Lana, thank you for choosing the raid. Lana has chosen 53 New Wave. A mutual friend and streamer of both myself and Lana. They have been playing a lot of things I enjoy recently. For example, Dorf, although that might be because I gifted it to them. They also tried Celeste. Right now they are playing Mass Effect. Our dear friend Ophelia has been doing a Mass Effect playthrough as well. I know there are a lot of Mass Effect fans in the community. So, yeah, as per Lana's request, we will head over there, as long as they're not about to end. No, they are not. Do show your love to 53 New Wave. Matcha, hello, got in just in time. Thank you for redeeming Fig-Leaved Goosefoot as your flower of the day. Luke says, oh nice, Mini Metro. Maybe I can learn from you the gameplay. I didn't get the game at all. I'm more to Mini Motorways. I think of the two, I also preferred Mini Motorways. I have tried them both before. Not a whole lot. I played them like 1 or 2 times when they came out. I actually had the #1 high score on one of the mini motorways levels for like half an hour on release day. But that's long since been beaten. I was never very good at Mini Metro either, but maybe coming at it afresh, we will learn some more. Yes, hello Matcha. I'm glad you could make the end of the stream. It's always good to have you here. It's particularly good to have you on raids because I know you like to write a poem about the raid, which is awesome, and we do love when you do that. I will just note down on my raid list that we are going to 53 New Wave as suggested by Lana. Although they are, I've raided them before anyway. They're a great streamer to go to. Barely made it somehow. Yeah, I'm ending a bit earlier than I normally would today, Matcha, because I'm tired and I've got work tomorrow. But thank you for being here. Let's get this raid started. 53 New Wave. And if anybody would like to share a raid message in chat, please do. It is awesome when we all say the same thing at the same time to annoy the streamer who we just streamed to. I'm joking. Right, if you're subscribed, here's a message for you to use. If you're not subscribed, feel free to use any emotes you like. But here's an example with some dancing dinosaurs, which you can copy and paste if you want. As I say, I'll be back here on Friday, Saturday, and hopefully also Sunday this weekend. I had to cancel last weekend. And don't forget to vote for game. Until then, thank you all very much for watching, and bye for now.